సార్
చెప్పావా?
చెప్పాను సార్. అందరూ అన్ని డిపార్ట్మెంట్ ఇప్పుడే పోయి చెప్పాను సార్. మా డిపార్ట్మెంట్ అందరూ సెకండ్ తారీఖు పోయినారు సిఆర్లు. ఓకే
టైం అయింది కదా.
ఓకే సార్, డెఫినెట్గా సార్. ఇంకోసారి మళ్ళీ నేను వీళ్ళ ప్యాకెట్లు కూడా కాల్ చేస్తాను సార్.
Swamy sir, good morning. Sir, you may now unmute, sir.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
How are you all doing?
Fine, sir. Fine, sir. You, sir?
I'm always good. Now with all your presence, I'm more happy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir,
Yeah,
we will take 5 minutes, sir.
Yeah, sure. No
Now,
problem.
100 is the count, sir. We will wait for the 5 more minutes, sir.
Yeah. I just joined just to make sure everything is okay.
Sir, yes.
So, very good. So I'll just go on mute. Yeah, Uday, while you are checking, just make sure to have all the names on the display, right? So there are so many numbers are there. So we are people, we're not numbers. So if it is possible, let everybody put their names. So it's easy if I
All the participants are requested to rename your name with your actual name instead of your number. Sujit sir, good evening, sir. You please unmute and check once, sir.
Good evening.
Okay, sir. Fine, sir. You may also on your video also. Fine.
One
sir.
second.
Okay, fine. Swamy sir is also there, sir. Already joined, Swamy sir. Sir, 5-5 we will start, sir. Now 5-1 we will start by 5-5, sir. Principal sir, please raise your hand, sir. I'll give you as co-host, sir. Uh, Principal sir, please raise your hand. I'll give you as co-host, sir. We need to start immediately. Principal sir, please unmute and check once, sir. Good evening to one and all. Chalapathi Institute of Technology was established in the year 2008 by the educationalist Sri Y.V. Anjaneyal Garu, the president. The present intake in UG courses is around 540, PG is 114, and diploma is 240. Since the inception of the institution, the college is in the forefront in conducting various programs like technical workshops, seminars, guest lectures, faculty development programs, etc. During the pandemic, we have conducted around 50 webinars in the advancements of the technologies. Now today, the webinar by Sri Chakradhar Sriperumbudur Swamy Garu, CIO Infomerica, President MapRecurit.Ai, whatnot. He is an educationalist, he is a technocrat, whatnot, everything. Artificial intelligence transforming the world is very useful to the students, research scholars, faculty, and the industry people. The pandemic has taught us many lessons and opened our minds to the new days of doing things, including the understanding of technologies such as artificial intelligence. With the artificial intelligence AI entering all the sectors, the higher education is not an exception. From the institutes worldwide have adapted the concepts like virtual assistants and augmented reality in the classrooms, smart texts. Most of the cases, artificial intelligence is using in the industry as well as in the institutes. During the today's webinar, Sri Swamy Garu will explore the AI, how it is using in the industry, and as for the institutions, you please make use of the valuable time by going with deep going into this webinar. I request our secretary Sri Y. Sujit Kumar Garu is also there in the meeting. I request her to speak few words about the webinar.
A very good evening to everyone, and my hearty welcome to Mr. Chakradhar Garu for giving us opportunity and facilitating all the students in enlightening on this emerging topic, artificial intelligence, and how it's transforming the world. I also thank and congratulate the organizers of this event. And once we have concluded this event, we would like to explore how these technologies are useful for the students and how we can improvise. We would like to take suggestions from the industry experts as well on how to use this platform to support these emerging technologies and educate the students in those platforms. In above all, this is also promoted across India by the AICTE, and many institutes have adopted. And over coming years, we will see many graduates coming out of these emerging technologies. We, from the Institute of Chalapathi Institute of Technology, our efforts are to see that our students are at the forefront in these emerging technologies once they pass out and come out. On this goal that we have set for ourselves, I thank all the department coordinators and the principal who have been putting efforts in establishing these webinars. And once again, thank you, Chakradhar sir, for taking this opportunity and giving your valuable inputs on this emerging area. Definitely, I apologize that I could not turn on my video, but as I'm outside. But once this webinar is over, sir, I will get in touch with you regarding how we can take advancements in this area and how our collaboration and association will take the institute and our relationship forward. Thank you very much.
I request our beloved principal, Dr. V. Rangarao Garu, will speak few words, sir.
Hello, good evening to everybody. We are very happy that conducting this webinar on emerging technologies, artificial intelligence for young minds. So I hope that this is going to be very useful for clearing their whatever may be the doubts or the fundamentals and all about the AI. So I request our student friends make use of this opportunity to the maximum extent and see that how best you can learn and see that how to apply later and all. And I would like to thank Chakradhar sir for sparing his valuable time for taking this webinar. I hope that it is going to be really useful to our students. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Over to Uday.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Swamy, sir, it is bit delay, 13 minutes. You will be very punctual. Extremely sorry for that. You please start, sir.
Yeah, no problem with that. It's all humans. So only that's why, it's interesting topic. Machines will never delay. If I said 0.001, it will start on time. Only the people, we always think this is not important to us or it may be getting delayed. So can you unshare your screen, Uday? Because I want to see more faces.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So before I begin, whoever can turn on their cameras, I'm a very people person. I want to see all the people, and it is going to be a wonderful journey we all will have together. So please turn on your camera so we all can see each other. And then when I share some screens, then that time, you can off. So I will be spending some time because I want to see these beautiful young minds, all these engineers, of course, I like, Cherko is wearing that mask. So that means you are an outside, so which is good. So following the guidelines. So please turn on your cameras. So at least we'll make it as much as possible in person. Otherwise, we would have got these holograms of the AI so that I will be there in front of everybody. The technology will come, right? So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all people joining around the world to this fantastic event. And thanks to Sri Anjaneyal Garu, Chairman, for starting this wonderful Chalapathi Institute of Technology and assisted by Mr. Sujit, Secretary. And thanks to Mr. Rangarao Garu, Principal, Mr. Uday, Professor, Management, and Faculty of Chalapathi Institute of Technology for inviting me to this wonderful session as a keynote speaker. And a very, very, very special good afternoon to all wonderful future engineers of modern era from Chalapathi Institute of Technology, which is you. You are the great treasure of this world, the youth icons, right? So it is an immense pleasure to meet with you all again. Of course, not like this. The one how I met you all before in 2019 as a keynote speaker in person in your beautiful campus for that Udghosh event. I hope That is all still going on, even though it isn't virtual. But I know by this time, we all have fully adopted the virtual conferences, as COVID taught us a lot of life lessons. On that note, I hope you and your family is staying safe and healthy and following the COVID guidelines. I could see some of these folks are already following the guidelines on this camera. So I really appreciate, and we have to still follow, because this is not going to go away anytime soon. And we need to learn how to live with it, just like how we have been adopting to live with machines in this modern era. I would like to call out few names who are met in 2019. And if I remember correctly, many of them were in second year of engineering at that time. And now they're fully grown up, finishing their final year of engineering with confidence and acquired the relevant knowledge to go out to the real world to transform the world to a greater good. As youth is the real icon, which is you, because youth represents a positive change. Are you that youth to go and conquer the world, to transform the world? Let us begin our journey together. So before, I just would like to call those names which I mentioned. Subhash Mekapati, is he on this auditorium? So you can say hi. So this is all auditorium. So we'll be calling the name so you can say hi. So at least people can see your name if you're there. Because Subhash, who impressed me with this prototype of hot tower in Amaravati, and similarly Samina, Rukmini, Anusha, and Devi, and many more, who excelled in their studies and now received many job offers from top companies through campus placements. And I congratulate all of them and also others who are graduating this year. I know it's a difficult year, last year and this year, because you all were technically glued to your home, but with the advancement of the technology and these virtual conferences and the webinars, I'm sure you might have acquired the required knowledge to go conquer the world. I know today's topic is AI, artificial intelligence, transforming the world. But before we dive into the topic, I would like to tell a story. I'm always a good storyteller. I always want to share these stories with you all. So are you with me to this wonderful story of future? Let's talk about future, right? So let's imagine a day in life. What is today? Today is July 9th, 2021. So how the day, July 9th, 2041, at 20 years from now. So let's go deep into it. And let us take this wonderful young minds of Chalapathi Institute of Technology, the names which I mentioned. So let us pretend Subhash, Samina, Rukmini, and Devi all went to USA, UK, and Australia. And if you're all there, you can say hi, okay? So we are all going on a journey. So our friends, young minds, went to US, UK, and Australia, or many other countries. And now we are talking about a day in life 20 years from now. So Subhash is settled in Silicon Valley, California. I hope everybody knows where is Silicon Valley. So here is how his day would be in 2041. So for Subhash, he was working at Google office. So it was late in the night. And he called the driverless Uber using his virtual assistant Cary. Said, hey, I'm going. Can I please get the car? The City immediately called the Uber cabs, and the Uber car came, but this Uber is a driverless car. When he arrived at his home, he could go straight into his house after the touchless security check, which was done using his facial recognition. And he didn't have to do too much of changes to his bed, as it just came from the wall. And some of these things, I'm talking about the future, but they do exist now. Like, when I go to New York, there is one modern hotel. If I go, it is completely looks empty. I don't have a office table. I don't have a TV. I don't have a bed, because the moment I go, if I want a TV, I have to press a remote button. The TV will come from the ceiling. If I want to go to sleep, if I want to press a button, the bed will come from the wall. And that is happening today. And if I'm talking of 20 years, it's all automatic. So with the facial recognition, going back to our story, so as soon as Subhash walked into his bedroom, the bed came in. And how did it recognize? Because he was very sleepy. He was tired. He was coming out of the Google after a long day. So immediately he said, oh, my boss is already done with the day. So I have to give him a beautiful bed. And of course, we all Indians love our Indian music, irrespective of wherever we are. So it was automatically picked Subhash's favorite music. And it was optimum to that sound level, what he wanted, not more, not high. And all these were automatically taken care. The air conditioning of the room was already got adjusted based on his body temperature. And his home, iRobot, Roomba, got activated at 11 p.m. to clean the house while he sleeps. By the way, this iRobot is not in the future. Even I have it today, even at my home today. Once we sleep, the Roomba goes around and it cleans the house so that my wife is happy. I don't need to do the clean when I wake up, right? So it's a crazy day ahead of Subhash. He needed a lot of emotional energy, and his plan for it was to do his morning run with his best friends, because whatever you do, you have to take care of your health. You have to be fit. So if you have a big day, you have to get up early and then you have to go for a jog so that you get really a good energy, good feel of the health. But then our friend Subhash, he wanted to jog with his friends. Who are his friends? Samina, Rukmini, and Devi, but they are not in Silicon Valley. They are in New York, London, Australia, in different locations, different time zones. But he told his Siri, the virtual assistant, to schedule a call. So he did everything. Then in the morning, he had a home robot called Dumbo, which came to Subhash exactly at 6 a.m. He wake me up, knocking on him with a beautiful, his favorite cappuccino. And how was the cappuccino? It was at optimal hot, whatever the favorite taste he likes, whatever the the color he likes. It was on the platter. It say, "Good morning, Subhash. Here is your coffee. It's the time for jogging." Then after the coffee, what did he do? He put on his Google Glass and hit the road with his favorite jacket to jog. Okay. And in Silicon Valley, what happens? You see a lot of things like Golden Gate, right? So he overlooked Golden Gate Bridge and all because he's more interested to jog with his friends. So it was a chilling morning and his smart wear auto activated the heating mode because the jacket which he wore was not able to cover. But then automatically it sensed the body temperature. It activated the heat so that he will be in a comfortable wear. Now, in a couple of minutes, as he was waiting for his friends joined from their respective places. New York, London, Sydney, wherever they are, they all could join. And then they all joined together. They had a lot of the chit chat, like how we are doing. They all did chit chat while jogging, wearing the Google glasses, where everybody is in a different locations, right? Now what happens, right? The online jog also has a SaaS model app. They all were subscribed. So they automatically, while they are jogging, this app was able to calculate all their body stats. How was their BMI? And everything was showing up on the glass. And it also went ahead in the back end, because it is all AI enabled. It went ahead and got all the joggers around the world, how their stats are, and they were able to give the ranking, whether you are a below average or average person, it was all able to give on it. And as soon as he enjoyed the job, he came home and then immediately his Siri, he had Alexa and Siri. So one of the AI assistants just popped up and read all the daily TV and newspapers based on his interest. Subhash may be interested more on the technology. So he'd say, okay, today's headlines on the technology news. Or if he's, of the sports, he will go through all the sports. So all the news were already remade for him as soon as he hit the home. And again, the Dumbo home robot came in and said, oh, Subhash, even though he's in Silicon Valley, he likes dosha. So it made all the doshas the breakfast. It gave the Irani chai, which was showing the exact temperature, richness. As we say, 3 roses, right? Rangu, Chikkadanam, color. So the flavor of his chai. While Subhash was ready for his day in office, his virtual assistant Siri sensed the time. He said, "Oh, you're supposed to be there in the office at 9 a.m." So immediately he called the driverless cab. He came in. But then, like me, Subhash also will be working with people around the globe. So as soon as he entered into the car, it is connected to MoFi. Do you guys know what is MoFi? It is called municipality Wi-Fi. Just like our Wi-Fi in the home, this municipality Wi-Fi is connected completely in the city. So once you are connected in the home, in car, your laptop is already connected. The connection is always there. So you are not losing the connection to the internet, right? So Subhash could immediately start his video call meeting where he collaborated with his co-workers around the globe. And the AI translation was active for folks in Japan and China to get the meeting notes in their local languages. The electric car, which Subhash was traveling, has advanced noise cancelling and fluid suspension. So there was an absolute silent environment provided to Subhash for his meeting, because it is not like, today when you go, I was there last couple of months back in India. So when I was trying to do some work while driving in Hyderabad roads, I was hearing only the honking noise and all the disturbances. But 20 years from now, when Subhash is driving the electric car, it was absolutely noise controlled. So when you go, you only focus on your work with a beautiful mind and the great ideas. Today, when I said today, it's a July 9, 2041, is Subhash's wife's birthday. So he already asked his personalized AI model to look up for beautiful flowers from one of the best gardens in Silicon Valley and asked to reserve a table for dinner in Sky Garden. Exactly at 5 p.m., his pre-reserved flying car picked Subhash, and then he picked his wife, and then they both went to Sky Garden for dinner. Subhash wanted to order some delicious food. But his personalized AI said, "Subhash, I know you like this food, but it is not suitable as per your health records." So it has ordered a new and delicious food, but within the health limits of Subhash and his wife. And it, the entire dinner came through unmanned robots, right? So the robots came in and gave you the dinner. So they had a fantastic dinner, and they both came home having a good dating for the dinner on his wife's birthday, looking at the stars in the sky car. They reached. The moment they reached, wife just realized she forgot the beautiful flowers which Subhash gave at the dinner table in Sky Garden. But before they realized what happened, the Sky Garden already sent those flowers by drone. So the moment they were opening, the flowers came in, they gave. So that was a fantastic. Subhash has a wonderful day with celebrating birthday of his wife at a Sky Garden, had a romantic dinner, and the day was ended. So it is a typical day. So my friends, even though this may sound like a Hollywood movie, Back to the Future, I'm sure many of you might have seen Back to the Future, but this is a reality. And we are all going to be living with machines. So it is better to understand how to live with them, what skills you need to learn to be better, good at what you do, to increase your value in this ever-changing world, right? This is very, very important. Are you guys with me? So let us see what it really means to all of us in terms of what is really AI and how AI is working. Are you able to see my screen? Uday or somebody, are you able to see my screen? Okay. So just again recap.
Yes,
so this was,
it's visible. Yes.
Visible? Okay. So this is the hot tower which our Subhash made it when I was in 2019 visiting. So the only change what you could see, if you all are virtual, and of course, I am also having a beard because I'm losing hair. So I thought somewhere I will increase my hair, right? So I have the beard now. Now, but what is AI? So I don't know how many of you are thinking in hostel. So if you're in a hostel, previously when I was doing engineering, I was in a hostel and then I was looking at the cupboard. My mom or, always they say it is messy room, somebody has to do, but I am not really inclined to set it up. I wish I had a robot which can just go and organize. I'm sure many of you are maybe thinking like that, right? But what is AI? Everyone is talking about AI. But what is AI? Is it just bringing you whatever the coffee and chai, whatever you need? Or is it something better beyond that? What is AI? AI is nothing but giving almost similar to the human brain to these machines using the computational algorithms and of course mathematical function. So my friends, you being an engineer, you have to be good in doing your math. If you're not able to do your math properly, then it will be a problem. Okay, so you have to know all about the math. So the machine with a human like brain using the computer algorithms, combination of the mathematical function is giving you a beautiful robot or artificial intelligence robot. But is that really you always see like a bot everywhere? No, right? Today, AI is in your smartphones, your cars. One of my friends, her name is Mamata. She's the CIO for cars, which you always like, Jeep, right? The Jeep Wrangler. There are different cars. She always beautifully call it as a laptop on wheels because you have entire AI is already in your laptop. And of course, I'm sure everybody is going towards social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. It is fully integrated with AI. And you may be playing video games and you might have experienced, I'm not sure how many, all the young engineers have bank accounts, but today if you have a bank account, you have a virtual assistant, everybody is talking to you. And if you have a security cameras, it is completely giving you all the information. If you have a camera on the streets, like today, I don't know much about in India, but I was there last year in Germany. I was able to drive the car and I didn't even realize there was a change in the speed. And then the speeding ticket came without even I know, because the speed was automatically calculated. The camera on the street was automatically calculated and they sent me a ticket. So it's always things are happening. But what does an AI do at its core? We're all looking at all these examples, but what is the fundamentals of AI? How is this really triggered? How are we able to cope up? So imagine you have a robot and you want it to take care of things. When the robot is in the real world, it may be dark, it may be light, it may be bright light, it may be raining. So it will adjust according to the light. It also adjusts according to the environment. It may be a valley, it may be hilly area, it may be crowded area, it may be a different area. So it will adjust. And also the dimensions of the leveling field wherever they are, right? So this is all called generalized learning. A robot, when you are kept in the real world, it is able to look at all the environment. It is able to learn from the environment, adopt itself, then do the function, whatever is required. Imagine if you have kept a robot and it is walking and it have two directions and it is able to recognize a paved or rocky, right? So it stops and says whether do I need to go into the paved or do I need to go into the rocky? So that is basically doing a self-reasoning. So a AI-based robot also will have a self-reasoning. So think about it. Let us say you are, the robot is going and there is a swimming lane or a lake, but the robot does not know how to swim. Then immediately it saw there is a plank. It is able to use the plank to cross because it doesn't know how to swim. but he can use the plank to cross the river. So what is the robot is doing? The robot is taking the given input. So it is able to look at it, the current situation, and then it is able to see, oh, for this situation, this is a problem. How do I solve the problem? So the robot is automatically able to solve the problems. So it also has a problem solving capability. So when you call this artificial intelligent robot, when the robot has either a generalized learning, or it is able to do reasoning, or it is able to do problem solving, then this robot is called fully artificially intelligent, right? So this robot is helping, the artificial intelligence is helping the robot to adapt to any situation, to do the reasoning and provide all the solutions. I know you may all have a lot of the questions, so we'll cover in a Q&A. So please make a list of those questions, either send it to me on the chat or send it to Uday, and then Uday can read out later. I don't know, now in COVID, everybody is at home, so you don't need to really know how to cook your food, right? If you are staying in a hostel or you are staying out away from your home, absolutely you should know how to cook your food. And to cook your food, what do? Either you Google it or you call your mom, say, I want to make some khichdi or upma or some biryani, but you should know all the steps. So if you mismatch those steps, you will never get the output right. So it is a sequential order you need to follow to create a recipe. So similarly, in AI also, when you are programming the sequential way to do certain tasks. And that's why AI also can be created as a narrow AI or a weak AI, where you are giving the relevant inputs to the bot to do a specific task. Once the task is performed, it is done, right? Once you are done with the cooking, that's all, right? So you are following the instructions. So that is why it is called narrow AI, or in sometimes weak AI. So in this example, do you guys know what is AlphaGo? AlphaGo is a robot which, first of all, Go is a very, very difficult game in the world to play. Chess is much more easier, but to play Go is very difficult. And there was an AlphaGo robot which beat the Go champion. But when you ask AlphaGo to play chess, will that play? No, because it is only trained to play AlphaGo. That's all. It cannot do any other function. So that is why either you can call it as a narrow AI because it is only doing a specific function, or you can also call it as a weak AI because it is not able to do. But do you have a strong AI? If you have, before we go to strong AI, if you have Alexa or Siri, you can try at your home. Google Echo, okay, Google or Alexa, you play some Indian music, or what is the latest movie of Chiranjeevi released, or whatever you want to ask, it will give you only those specific instructions. But if you ask, okay, tell me how much time it took, or what is the distance between my home and my work, whether there is a traffic, am I going to reach on time? It does not give all that information because it is not trained. They only take, it has intelligence, but instead of taking one task, it has multiple tasks, but it is not able to understand the real environment to be a strong AI. And where do you see a strong AI? The strong AI right now is mostly available in your movies. If you're watching the Avenger movie, your famous character, this who you see, is Ultron. So he does whatever he wants, and the more advancement of AI, once you see those faces are emotions. So if you are able to get into those emotions, then it is almost mimicking like humans, and that is not really far off. But I'm sure when you are working with artificial intelligence, you get so much confusion. Now you at least learn what is artificial intelligence. Okay, it is giving a human-like brain. There are computer algorithms, and there are mathematical functions. It is all combining, it is giving. But what is machine learning? What is deep learning? These are the vocabulary which will always pop up and you always get confused, right? So don't get confused. Artificial intelligence is the whole plethora where machine learning is just a part. Machine learning takes all the data. It is as you know, it's all depends on the data, but then using the data, it does all these computational algorithms, and then it do the prediction. So if you are going in any other industry, which we'll be talking more about it, it will predict. Suppose, let us say you are on a Netflix and you're watching some movie. Depending upon all the algorithms and the data, it will say, okay, you have already watched some action movie. So these are the 2 latest action movies are there. But then what is deep learning? Deep learning is, as you can see, it is almost like a human brain. It takes a lot of the layers and almost think like a cross functionality of the brain. If you have seen, Deep Blue from Google, right? So it almost acts like a brain. It takes all the input layers, output layer, and a lot of the middle layers are there. So it is basically focusing on data and patterns, and it will perceive how deep this data is there, how this pattern is there, what would be the output. So that is where the deep learning is coming. Now, take this question and give the answers to the later. So which of the below AI projects don't exist yet? An AI robot with citizenship, a robot with a muscular skeletal system, AI that can read its owner's emotions, AI that develops emotions over time. What do you guys think? Which one is not there yet? So out of 4, only 1 is not there yet. Remaining 3 are already there. So as now we have realized, artificial intelligence, it is there in every industry. So what do you have learned? It is a branch of computer science, of course, and it deals with the stimulation of intelligent behavior in computers. And some people also say AI is also suite of technologies where machines automatically learn and adapt to a specific environment. And as you know, AI is playing major role in every industry, business, society, and in government too. So it is basically transforming all our everyday life. And what you can see, we have only learned about machine learning and deep learning, but there are many other terms you may be hearing, like, NLU, natural language processing, NLP, right? Our natural language understanding, NLU, NLP processing. So there are many things we interact with AI in daily basis, but you may not know that you are interacting with AI. As you can see, in future, you may have a friend who is sitting, but that could be a bot. So learn to respect the technology, learn to live with these bots, because you never know who is going to be your companion in your future project, or who is going to be your co-worker in future, right? And as I said, these robots, today you probably put on the TV and you can watch all the weather channel. And this robot is basically giving you all that information, whether it is going to predict the rain or not. At least today, every function, whatever we do, we are able to predict whether we are going to have a rain today or not, whether we need to meet in the park, whether we need to meet outside, whether we have to be inside, whether what type of clothes we need to wear, whether it is going to be hot, whether it is going to be cold. All that information is available at your fingertips. Now, if you have a smart phones, I'm not sure how it is in India, but here we have a cloud app. So before I go to any place, before I plan for any event, I just go there and I see whether, even it is can give you weather.com. If you go, it is able to give you almost weather report for next 10 days. And of course, we have a beautiful scientific research companies like NRSA is there, National Remote Sensing Agency. So it will also definitely give. So there is a lot of technology has been, taken the advancement. And today, if you look at it, the business, you see all these functions are going on using the AI, right? So I'm sure you all might have seen, the federal office, the White House in US. nothing is there. As you are able to see all the traffic signals and everything, all are controlled by AI. It also gives you more information. So when we look into the transportation industry and how we are doing these changes, we will talk more about what is all going on in those specific industries. So today, almost more than 50% of the companies in the industry are already adopting some portions of the AI. Like, CIOs like myself, when we talk to different CIOs in the industry, the first and foremost goal is how we can adopt AI. How can we leverage AI in our own use and also in our products and service offerings, so that how can we transform the world? How can we give a better experience to the consumer? So if you look at it, this experience matters a lot in the industry. Whatever the output you are giving, it is going to reflect the experience on a consumer or a customer, whoever you are working, whoever they are going to consume either your service or a product. If that customer is not happy, whatever you are doing is not good. So in your case, you are a customer to a banking industry. So if the bank, if it is a HDFC Bank or ICICI, whatever the bank, or a State Bank of India, whatever the bank you go, if they don't give you enough service, will you be happy? You're not, right? But now with all this technology, there are so many services are available, but that services also have to give you the unique experience. Otherwise, you will not be happy. So we will look into more closely each industry, how all these things are changing. And it is almost becoming like a smart board, smart discussions, everything is becoming smart. But are you smart? To make sure you are part of the smart industries, the revolution is already began, but you need to equip yourself to be part of this revolution. Otherwise, you will be out of the race. Okay, so let us talk about the education, right? Because we are all in the university, Chalapathi Institute of Technology. So we want to see how this education is impacting, AI is impacting or transforming the education. See, today, I think if I call Principal Rangarao Garu or anybody, any faculty, they may not able to tell you which student is really, of course, if whoever is good, they may say he is really standing out because he has A grades or he is inventing something. But if you talk about a class of 50 people, you may only know 3 or 4 people who are really good because you are already always standing out. But what about the rest of the 40 people? There may be people who are really good, but they may not able to express, or they may not able to understand the concept. So remember, when a teacher is giving you a 1-hour lecture, he is trying to give you the lecture thinking everybody is in the same page. So like today, when I'm giving a speech, I'm hoping you setting the level set, almost going from the basics to give. So some of the people, whatever I've told, they already might know, but some of the people may be in the middle level, some of the people may be in the advanced. But how do I know? As a faculty, when I'm coming and looking at all the 50 people, I'm more focusing on my delivery of that, because based on our norms and regulations, I have to finish the syllabus, I have to finish all the course curriculum in 3 months or 6 months, then I have to put some exams. So there is a complete process is already been established. I have to adhere to that framework and go. But that is completely disrupting that education industry by AI, because I am really good in math, but I may not really know the basics in science. I want to learn, but because people are not giving me that opportunity, I don't know where to go. So I'm not able to learn. So I am really missing that. Even in all the subjects, I'm able to get A grade or 90 plus, but I'm not able to get anything in science. So I am still not able to perform. So what do I need to do? So that's why we are able to see a personalized learning, which is available to the kids now using the AI, so that if I am missing in physics or chemistry or organic chemistry or a math or a biology, whatever may be the thing, I can go in my own pace because I have a personalized learning. I have to take an assessment. Once I do the assessment, it will tell you, okay, Subhash is good in this, Rukmini is good in this, but Devi is missing this. So I give you more amount of work to Devi so that Devi can spend more time. and I have to give more mathematics information to Rukmini so she can pick up, they can do all those personalized. But then what about the faculty? There is so many changes are happening in the world. When you are teaching something, if it is not relevant to the industry, how is this faculty going to adapt and give you? And if this faculty from Chalapathi is giving you all the information to all the young minds in Chalapathi Institute of Technology, the engineers, but if it is not relevant to the industry, if you go out, the industry may be asking something, but you have not been taught there, then how do you do? But then how does this faculty knows about it, what to teach? That is why there are a lot of the teaching aids are there based on the AI. So each teacher, again, they may have a very strong acumen in particular areas within a subject, but they may be weak in certain area. So maybe, somebody is really good in algebra, but somebody may be weak in geometry within the maths. But then how do I know? So maybe I can use the geometry. Geometry is all about the shapes. How do I see a shape? In a typical normal world, what do you see? You just draw only a two-dimensional. But when you have a 3D or a 4D effect, how do you get it? You can probably have a AR and VR concept, right? Augmented reality and virtual reality. So when you look into all those fantastic new tools and technologies available, you can create a great teaching aids for yourself to learn, and also you can impart to those to our students. So it is completely changing. And for example, today you have been invited, but there is some sadness happened in one of the students. Student may not know. So how are you controlling the emotions of the course? You're not able to see. So there are many things which you don't know. So that is why this AI is helping you to be more one-on-one and enjoy. Because when you are reading this, you should be able to enjoy what you are learning. And when will you get that enjoyment? When you understand. See, when you look at any movie, right? When you are looking at watching a movie, when will you enjoy? When you get yourself engrossed in the movie, whether it is action or a romance or a comedy or whatever, unless until you engross yourself, you may not be in a position to see whether this is a good movie or a bad movie. You cannot comment, right? So it is a very, very important. So think about it, whether you have been given a huge homework by your professor and you did not really understand. How do you solve this problem? AI is there, where it is helping you all the things. And I don't know how many of you know, last week, it is very recent, Alexa has, the Amazon Alexa has launched a new thing called Sidekick. And the Sidekick is a new program which is helping all the children to read. So suppose if you are doing an elementary, people may not know how to read. So it is, they can say, Alexa, please read for me, like a bedtime stories. Because in today's mundane world, most of the husband and wife or the parents, they are always working and leaving the kids alone. But then when the kids come from school, they may not have that support to do. But when you have this kind of Alexa Sidekick, it is allowing you to read. It also can stop you, say, oh, okay, hey, Johnny, why don't you read with me? So you both can read and you can understand from each other. Or they can say that, okay, you read, I will assess. The moment you pick up, I can also read and I can assess. So there are many different things you can do with this Alexa Sidekick. But of course, the drawback, if you look at it, you cannot read any book, whatever you want, right? That book has to be electronic ready or eco ready based on the Amazon capabilities. Of course, those are some of the drawbacks which will be completely taken away when you're looking into the future 5 years from now, 10 years from now. But today, at least you have the option that somebody is giving you the companion and you are able to read the book along with the mission. So that's Alexa Sidekick. So I have just given, just within the education sector, I have given you all some of the information, apps. So the Newton, there is adaptive learning technology in higher education. So these are the companies and the tools. They use different levels of tools depending upon the different technologies. So like in a Newton has the Alta, which is using adaptive learning technology. But if you go to the Cogni, which is exclusive for K-12 and higher education, which will improve the critical thinking skills. And if you go to the Quorum stepwise, so if you have a problem in your homework. How do you solve your homework? So that is where the Quorum app will help you to go into stepwise. When you do stepwise, for example, they are not looking at the answer what you solve. So suppose if you're solving a big problem, people can always find out the answers and then say, okay, this answer is 52. But the system will tell you how did you reach to that 52 answer? What is the step one you're taking? If you're not taking the right step one, it is going to fix you. So you may be spending more time. The AI machine is helping you to go through each step one. It is giving you all the options. So it will fix you how to go to step one, step two, step three. But after the end of the 5 steps, you are getting the answer 52. But you also know how to come to those steps. Then it will build the knowledge on top of that and give you similar question, then you can practice. So there are so many tools are here, which you can leisurely, take a look at it later. And if you look at it, healthcare. So today, of course, COVID has really helped a lot. Otherwise, in India, I personally did not see any virtual assistance for doctors in India last year, till last year. But last year, when I was there, when we want to talk to Apollo guys said, hey, use this app, I will be available. And automatically the guy came in, and then we had this telemedicine or a tele-doctor, everything was available. But when you look at it, a big schema from the global, what is happening? There is so much of medical records are available, but who is checking on those data? How is this AI is helping? So there are many companies come forward, and they want to really focus on this data and give you the right information. Because what is important in healthcare? The diagnosis, right? If you're not able to diagnose the right problem of what you have based on the information you provide. So if you are a normal person, you do not have any knowledge on how the healthcare is going, you only know what are the problems. But if you're not able to express that, how the doctor has to go through. So the doctor knows whether you have taken the shots. Like today, if you go to any of the hospital, the first thing what they check is, did you get a COVID? If you did not get COVID, did you get the vaccines of the COVID? You don't know, depending upon your age. Let's say, my mom, 76 years old, she may forget everything. So she doesn't know, yeah, I got it, but I don't know which COVID I got it. One, I don't know when I got it. Second, I don't know which I got it. How do I get it? So there is the electronic record is available. So you can actually get into that information and see whether, all that is really helpful or not. So it is really helping the doctors, clinicians, and patients. Everybody, this AI is helping, and this AI is becoming a trusted advisor to all these people. One of the conference, even I was talking about 2017 or 18, I was there in Las Vegas, and there was a big conference going on. And I think I'm sure many of you may have heard about IBM Watson. So the IBM Watson conference was going on. That time, I think Jimmy Rometty was the chairman. So we happened to meet, and we were all discussing. And one of the issue, the real thing the scientist came and told, there was an old lady, almost 70, 80 years old, and the doctors in China, the doctors diagnosed her with a cancer. And they thought there is no treatment available to this patient, and she's almost going to die. But then IBM came in and then said, okay, why don't you use Watson, which has the AI capability, and it will go through. So the IBM Watson came in, and it went through all the records of all the patients. And then if you look at it today, there is so many advancements are going on. But if you are a doctor, you are already very busy, 24/7, taking care of the patients, which is your primary work, which is really good. But when is the time for the doctor to upgrade his skills based on what is happening in the world? He may not have time. He or she may not have time. She is interested, but may not have time. Of course, he is using AI and all while going in the car, while discussing whenever he has the time or she has the time. That AI, personalized AI, is giving you all the latest information, but may not be able to give you the research information. So the Watson came in, it went through all the record, then it identified there is a almost 2% or 3% variance in this particular cancer, what the doctors have diagnosed and what Watson has diagnosed. You are thinking A, but it is not really A, this is B, and there is a cure available. Do you want to do? So Watson has given a recommendation to the doctor. Doctor was really surprised. I said, I did everything. I have 30 plus years of experience. I did not find it. Watson gave, let me do it. So he spent another day really going to the information. So Watson did all the research. It gave the summary. Now doctor needs to just focus on the summary and validate whether this is the correct information or not. When the doctor identified this is the correct information, then they found the drug and the person was survived and the person was available in live in Las Vegas. Even though I'm telling like a story, it was a fact, it was a real thing, which I experienced myself in 2017, 2018. I don't remember the date, but which I'm talking about 4 or 5 years back. And now we are in 2021. And back to our story, I was talking about 2041. So my friends, there is so many changes are happening in healthcare industry, rather in every industry, right? So the important factor is the labs. The labs are very, very critical in healthcare. If you do not diagnose properly where it is, and even today, the biggest, of course, the COVID itself, as you can imagine, people are not able to identify what is all happening and how we want to really get out of it. And still, we have done wave 1, we have done wave 2, and I heard Delta variants is coming in. People are still afraid. People are wearing the mask, and some people are not wearing the mask. Some people are taking the vaccine. Some people are not taking the vaccine. But still, if you look at it, in the whole industry, it takes minimum 10 to 15 years to bring any drug to the market. Take any big companies, it takes 10 to 15 years. But in COVID, we are able to get in within less than 12 months, right? The COVID vaccine, Covishield or Covax, was available in India almost within 12 months. How was it possible? Because of the technologies like AI, which is really working behind the scenes to get all the required information and get the required dosages. All the testing is done. Of course, they might not have taken a lot of time to do the testing and all, but they could really identify the drug within that time. It was a historic change around the world, and we should be proud as a technologist that we are helping to transform this humankind with our tools and techniques. So that's why this advanced technology is always good. Of course, it has its own challenges, but you need to see. So I'm just giving you some of these companies which are really doing, and you can of course Google it and you can go more information. But these are the companies which are forefront. They have been there last few years, like Path.ai. It is giving you an accurate cancer diagnosis most of the time, because again, cancer is a vast word. So you don't know whether it is a breast cancer or a stomach cancer, whether it is a throat cancer or many different cancers, but at least it is trying to give you. And you also have a biohealth, which is like a chat bot. So if you don't have anybody and you have some problem, heart problem, because sometimes most of the time when you are becoming old, you don't know whether it is a problem of the chest or it is really the problem of the overall, indigestion, right? Because it almost gives you the same pain and all. But how do you know? You may not have a doctor available, even though 24/7 people say it is available. You cannot always go to the ER. ER is emergency room. Once you go into the ER, it takes 2 to 3 hours, the waiting time and all. But how do you really get a simple answer? So that is something like, biohealth. It has an intelligent system checker. It is like a chat bot. You talk to it, it will give you all the information. And again, there is another company called Analytic Deep Learning Actionable Insights. Melinda Gates and Bill Gates have invested a lot in this, and it got almost a fifth company in the world, which is highly rated using artificial intelligence, which is very high, above, the ranking is above Facebook and Microsoft and other things. So there are many other companies you may not know, which are already exist and which are completely transforming the world. Okay. Now, if you go into the drug development, like the COVID and all, where we got this drug delivery, so there are different companies are there, BioXcel and Berg Health. So they are all using not only AI is definitely in the forefront, but they are using many other technologies like, cloud computing and your 3D, because when you are looking at it today, anything you want to see, you only have a microscope and you are able to see only certain portions on a body, especially when you are doing a surgery. But today, AI robot is assisting. So just tell you a story, right? I think 2015 or 2016, my daughter and her friend, they were in probably 7th or 8th grade. They took a challenge for Cisco. Cisco was conducting a challenge in the US. So they both went and they came up with a beautiful idea. It was almost 6 years back. The idea was, in the modern world or the developed world, most of these things are there. But what about you think about people in Africa or in the other poor countries where it is not fully developed? Even in India, if you go to a rural area, they may not have all the facilities. How is this technology can help? So they came up with information where they kept a box. People can go and touch the box. Automatically, the virtual assistant will come and it will take just like the intelligent system checker, it will come all the information and it will ask you. Suppose if you say that, okay, you have a throat infection and it is able to diagnose, and it says, okay, you need to take some amoxicillin or some antibiotic. But the village wherever this person is belong to may not have all this facility. So then they just need to press a button. Then that will send a signal to the main nearest city wherever it is connected. There you have a drones and you can set, okay, this particular village, let us say, the Guntur require this medicine, then it may go to Hyderabad, and from Hyderabad the drones will be coming and it will be sending you all the information, the amoxicillin, all the antibiotics in a pocket, and then it will be put it into this box. So then they can take the box. Now, what about if there is a doctor and they want to do a emergency surgery to a patient in that village? How is he going to get assistance? Now, with all this technology, you can get help from the people wherever you are. So you can have a kind of a Zoom call and then you can still do the diagnosis. But in the major cities like in New York and especially in Boston, there are many companies have come where they are actually, the robot is absolutely doing. And the statistics shows the surgery done by robot is very, very highly precision. And what it is doing is it is using all these different technologies and it is sending all the images to the system so that the main surgeon is sitting in a lab where he is able to see everything on the big screen. Because when you are looking at some of these portions with your human eye, you are not in a position to look at that particular spot on the body of the human. But this robot is able to pinpoint that particular, and it is also creating a 3D effect, and it is sending that image in a bigger version to the system, and then surgeon is able to see, oh, this is the problem. So today it is what I always call, it is Swamy plus digital Swamy. You need to have both. You need to have a human, you need to have a machine with intelligence, so that the combination will work tremendously. It will really give you a fantastic information. And if you look at into other industry, transportation industry, what is the important? When you are walking on a road, you may be going through interacting with so many different people, but how do you know whoever you are interacting is a good person or a criminal or a terrorist? How do you know? So with this AI and all, it is able to do facial recognition. It is able to immediately say, oh, okay, this guy has some activity which is not good for the community. So immediately it will inform the police and say that, okay, these are the goons and we need to catch them out. So it is giving a great public safety and making sure it is in the real time. When you are walking, you are able to see 3 or 4 people. Out of this 4, maybe one person is a goon and it is already been given. So you are being given a safety in that particular area. So the safety is important. And when you talk about these autonomous vehicles, I think I'm sure you already know now, everybody knows Elon Musk, Tesla, which is also opened a new factory or a showroom in Bangalore, I think this year, 2021. There is a lot of manufacturing is happening. So Tesla, and there are many other cars are available, which is a driverless cars, right? So it will just go wherever you want. And it is really helping. Like, think about it in many of the universities in the US. So you have a small buses are available where people can just get in and get out. There is no driverless. You just need to enter the data. It will just go. So you are using the GPS. How is it knowing whether your car is going the right direction or not? So there is so many information is available at your fingertips to make sure this destination is being reached using your maps. And it is also, I was wondering, when I was using Google Maps many years, when I was there almost 4 years back in India, I was wondering whether we are able to use the Google Maps or not in India. But I was so astonished to see people are so adaptive, and Google Maps also, because when I was growing up, if I want to give an address, I used to say, please come to that Gandhi statue, take a right, and then there is a pink building, take a left, then there is a yellow building, you go there, then there is a roof covered with the blue color, that is my house. That's how I used to tell when I was growing up. But today I can say, go to this Sahara states, LB Nagar, Manastiripuram, automatically the Google will tell you, okay, how much time it takes and where we can take. So the maps is giving. So the advancement has really come where it is really helping out the information to go in a driverless car in a normal way. And of course, when you are working in a pedestrian safety, traffic pattern. So traffic pattern is another important event, because if you are in an emergency, like today, if you think about it in, let's say, take an example of Mumbai. If someone is really cardiac arrest in a house, and then they call 911 or whatever the number they have in India, here in US, it's 911. You get an ambulance, and then person gets into the ambulance, and then he has to go to the hospital. But do you think this ambulance can go within that time to that hospital with the traffic pattern in Mumbai or any major cities where people don't even care about whether ambulance is coming or not? There is so much noise, so much pollution, so much honking going on. The traffic pattern is completely bizarre. You don't know whether you need to go straight or left. But with the AI, it is able to navigate this ambulance to go in the fastest way, fastest path, so that the person can be reached the hospital within the time, and that person can be saved. So all this technology you should be using for good, where it can give a multiple effect. For example, today when I'm working with Infomerica and MapRecruit, we have a product called the end-to-end cognitive talent acquisition platform. So it is basically going through job application to onboarding. Everything is taken care by the automation. The moment you get in, so any of these bigger companies you just need to go into their career site, and the chatbot is already configured. You don't need to go into multiple sites. You are getting a better user experience based on your experience and the knowledge. It is also giving you, maybe you applied for software developer position, but you also can go into software engineering, or maybe you are good in pre-sales or solution architecting. So all those information can be given to you using these chatbots. So as you can see, this is a V-Ride, a Chinese company. It has launched, and as you can see, all those the kind of machines on top of the roof, right, on the car, where it is everything is driverless cars. It is able to navigate. It is able to go. So it is using all this artificial intelligence technology to get itself on the traffic, and it is already there. And this is the bus which I was talking about. There is no driver in the bus, and the bus is absolutely going wherever the passenger needs to go. And think about it today. I think the law enforcement, right, the drunk and drive. There are many cases are happening, and first of all, you're not supposed to drive while you're drunk. It is not only harm to you, but it is also harm to the other people who are on the road. But how do you stop it? So now you don't need to go near to the car and put the torchlight, whether you are drinking or not, then take a meter and say, well, you just take a deep breath and push your air into it, so that you will get a the signal, whether you are a person with high alcohol or not. All that is already gone now. So in the new AI, the moment a person is driving, based on his body movements, based on whether he's texting, whether the driving patterns, automatically it will come to those handheld signal and say that, okay, this car XYZ2373 is really having a person who is drunk or he's not in a proper condition. Please go and catch hold of him. Automatically it is getting the signal to the police, and then police is going and getting the person. So there is a lot of things have completely changed. So you can use it, for your own advancement. And today, if you are, flying heavily like me, of course, thanks to COVID, in one way that, I am able to spend more time with my family, not traveling, staying at one place. But if you look at it, other places, it is really challenging when you go into airport and you already planned so much. Sometimes I remember, 10 years back or 15 years back, I have to go from Florida to New York, and then I have to come back to Florida where I used to live in the same day. So morning flight to New York and evening 5 o'clock flight back to home. But when I was going to New York from Florida, the flight got delayed. It did not even reach the New York till 4 p.m. Then how can I come back at 5 p.m.? That time the technology was not there. They don't know whether it is delayed, whether I can get it. They were saying, okay, we're all waiting. There is no advancement. But now today, the air traffic control is completely taken care by the AI. And by the way, I may give you some great insight, but I'm not trying to frighten you. Today, if you are sitting in the flight takeoff and flight landing is only controlled by human. All others, while you are in the air, all others, most of it, the stat says is controlled by AI machine. The autopilot, what we call, right? And as I said, there are so many flying cars are there, and it is not, because today, I think a few years back, I was there in India, and I was, I think in Lanco Hills or some company, they reached out to me in the airport. They said, we have a new home coming in. You don't need to drive. So they took me in the helipad. We just went, and then we got dropped on the roof of the new apartment, and we just could go. So we are avoiding all the traffic. So there we are just using the helipad from airport to the home in India, in Hyderabad. I went personally. It was 4 or 5 years ago. But today, the world is changing flying cars because there is no room on the road. So now people are trying to use everything like a drone. When you can send the drone to, pick up or drop all these things, the materials, like COVID, as probably you might have seen, everything has come to reality. There are certain places, even in India, the drones are dropping the medicine to the patients who have been suffering from COVID, because you cannot touch them. You have to maintain those 6 feet guidelines and all. So you need to send the food, you need to send the medication. What is the alternative way? The alternative way is a drone. So they are able to send the medicine and the food through the drones. They're able to go. But now, when the drones can do it, why can't we create a flying cars? So the flying cars has been already there. If you check on the World Economic Forum, they have already given a beautiful presentations. They have been already doing in certain places in Europe. So there are certain, just like your bus depot or a railway station or an airport, they have already built a couple of places for this flying car so that they can park, they can use. And by the way, in future, you're not going to own the car. You are only going to use as a SaaS. So what is SaaS? Service as a operation, right? So everything is just only pay as you use. Software as a service. This is called, I would say, CaaS, car as a service. Everything is only service oriented. There is no products. So if I'm using a car, I just need to put my ID, and then automatically it will be deducted, maybe at $10 for my trip from my bank. I just be going wherever I want to go, and then I'll be dropped, and then I just walk off. So I don't even worry about where is my car, where do I need to park. Like, if you go to Singapore today, many of the people do not own the car because of of course, the government rules and regulations, but also just encourage everybody to use the public transport. and help the environment, right? There is so much carbon footprint is being left in the sky, so we need to really take care of the environment. So technology is helping you to treat everything as a service. You just pay for the service. So that's why whole your understanding and going forward, what are the products and how you use everything is going to be in a SaaS model. And if you look at it in the manufacturing, lot of changes are coming in. All the robots, like, you can see in the assembly, right, where the car, each part is being completely taken care by the bots. So don't worry, the mechanical engineers, you will have a future. The only thing is you need to know what is the advancement happening in mechanical engineering so that you can really take care of it. And this is another company called VR Robotics, where these are the this is the company which is producing robots, and it is helping manufacturers to do it. So there are many companies already started producing these kind of a products, and they're also, everything is going as a service. And this is an invisible AI. So there is so much going on in a factory, but you don't know whether you are doing everything in an optimum level. There are people are coming in, people are going out, some people are doing producing, some people are packing, some people are quality checking, some people are going. So what this invisible AI does is they have kept all the cameras in the entire factory. Camera will be feeding all the data to this, and then immediately it is coming up all the pattern. Okay, the production guy is taking all the information and giving it to the packing. The packing guy is making and it is sending it to the quality. So it will understand the whole patterns, how these things are happening in the shop floor. Then it will create a pattern, and automatically it will tell you, okay, I think the production people have to do little changes so that we can increase the productivity. Packing people have to do little changes so that we can do more packings in a day. And then quality testing has to do better. So it will be giving you all those gaps, what it is identified on the shop floor. So there are many different products are available in the market which will do. And one of the best industry what we see is the service industry, right? Everywhere you want, like, today, if you want to, I think this is the first time I heard IITs where everything is online now, right? The main entrance is happening on online. I think more than 2 to 3 lakhs people are applying. They made it very simple how to enroll, how to pay, do the payment using the banking app or the credit cards or the Google Pay, Phone Pay. There are so many apps have come, and everything is making a easy service to the consumer to focus on what is important for you to do that particular transaction, and of course use this secure way to finish the transaction. So today I'm in US, but then there is a chat bot, I think ICICI launched, and they said, hey, good morning, Swamy. And it is able to tell me good morning based on my time zone. And it is also telling me, okay, this account is being matured. You want to put in this. This is some interest levels are there. This is some government regulations are there, because I'm not able to go through all the information, what is all happening in the RBI guidelines. I don't have time. But this chat bot, because I am a premium customer, it is giving me all the information on my fingertips. So there are a lot of things are happening. And if you look at it in the agriculture industry, right? So today, most of it, we always depend upon the farmer is going on the field and they are able to do. But if you look at it in some of these advanced countries, there are machines from the top companies like, Diri, where they have the driverless tractors. It will just go into all these fields. It is able to sow the seeds. It is also able to cut the crops. A lot of these things, making sure whether it is able to get you the right amount of water to these plants, whether is it the time to pick up those fruits, all those things can be automated. You can use the cameras because it can understand what is all happening in the agricultural and farming field. And in fact, we need to do a lot from the India perspective. There is a huge opportunity where we should be able to go into these farming rural areas and see how we can adopt this technology to get a more production. And this, young minds from Chalapathi, probably the civil engineers, mechanical engineers, can go in and transform. Of course, I don't know whether Chalapathi has agriculture engineering or not, but the agriculture engineering. So the landscape is completely changing. If you touch any field, it can be completely get more to the optimum level using the advanced technologies such as AI. And today, if you go to the retail industry, I'm sure you all may be doing a lot of shopping on Amazon or your local company in India. When you go, if you buy something, what do you see in the bottom? You see, oh, you purchased a, let us say, office desktop, or then immediately it will give you. You have an office table, you have a lamp, you have a keyboard, you have a mouse. How is it coming? I didn't ask anything, but it will able to give you your shopping patterns, whatever you are buying, so that intelligence is there. So that is where your machine learning, artificial intelligence will kick in, and it will give you all the information. Like in today, I have a refrigerator at my home. If the milk is completed, it will send a signal to my local store saying that, Swamy's refrigerator is empty. I need 2% organic milk. Can you please send it? And then I have a delivery service. Because this COVID, we are using different apps and the different home delivery services. It will connect with my home delivery service saying that, okay, Swamy's house is so-and-so, they live in North Carolina. Please deliver 2% organic milks by 5 p.m. because it is his tea time. So the milk will come to at door delivery. And it is all done by the IoTs and the AIs of the refrigerator. I'm not doing anything. Automatically, it will be done. So many things have been changing in the retail industry, how it is been done. And if you look at it, any of the shopping malls and all, they give a lot of these coupons. They want to see how the human, the behavior is happening in this. Now the entire India is also now open, so they could see many people are coming back to shopping malls. Now they know that COVID restrictions are there, so they also know your buying pattern, so they give you all that information. I think in this whole India, probably many people like in a big basket and all probably might have really seen quite a sea change as everybody is ordering the daily produce, right? So this is really going on with the AI versus human, right? And one of the critical thing what you can see a couple of months back, I think in May, entire US is on a halt because there is no gas. Here, when we say gas, it is like a petrol for our cars. The reason is one of the big petrol supplier has been hacked. So cybersecurity is on a very, very high end, because now I think there is another topic which we can discuss more about it, is about the Bitcoin. Because even today, all these money transactions are happening, everything in a very virtual way. You really don't see the money. So the hackers are coming in. We have a great federal agency, but they are able to come into the system and they are able to attack the companies and putting them to down. Unless you pay certain big money, millions of dollars, they're not going to release it, and they're making money. And then how are you giving all those transactions through the Bitcoins and all? So it is not there in this US, it may be there in Russia, it may be there in China, it may be there in India. We don't know where it is going. It has connected everywhere. But how do you stop those activities, not to have any of our companies ruined by this unnecessary cyber security attackers? How do we really safeguard our business? Can human do it? Is he available 24/7? Is he able to identify? There are so many new techniques are being adopted by these attackers. How are we gearing up to attack them back? So that is where AI really helps you, because it does advanced learning. The beauty of the artificial intelligence is it will learn as it sees and experience and prepare itself with all the new algorithms, new problems, to the new solutions. So it is a continuous motion. It will be learning, giving you all the information required. So this is very, very another important area where AI is working. And we have many other things, but we will just end with the gaming and entertainment, where you have a lot of these videos and all are coming, and I'm sure everybody is watching the Netflix or the Amazon Prime, where people are watching whether the action movie or the comedy movie. Immediately it will say, based on your history, we are suggesting. So it is able to, in a real time, giving you all this information. So suppose if you search for a top star, maybe like an Allu Arjun movie or a Chiranjeevi or what is his name? Naga Chaitanya or Nagarjuna. So whoever the or Amitabh Bachchan, Big B, right? You have all these things. And if you are using, I think Alexa, if I'm not wrong, they have also configured the voice of Big B, the Amitabh Bachchan, into Alexa. So whatever the commands you are giving, it is giving in the form of Amitabh Bachchan. So there is so much crazy is going on in this gaming and entertainment industry. You can use AR, VR, and you probably maybe watching a lot of the Star Wars movies, and also a lot of things are happening in this world, in this particular industry. So my friends, this is really going in a very, very advanced level, right? So I also have a few things which will tell you what you need to be, studying on, and how you want to get prepared. But one thing I want is this artificial intelligence and the robotics they are the driving force for the future. In the next decade or so, you will surely see some stunning technological revelations, and maybe the inventions may be coming from some of these people who are on this conference from Chalapathi Institute of Technology, right? You don't know, because what is AI? AI is all about data, but it has to be properly implemented. If you don't implement the AI in a proper way, it is a problem. So you are using the data and you are benefiting, you are creating a solution which will benefit the larger audience or larger customer segment or larger industry. So that is why it is definitely very, very important. But then all of you may have a question. I'm not from computer science engineering background. What happens to me? So don't worry. If you are not from computer science engineering, don't worry, because what it really requires is curiosity, confidence, and perseverance are the good triads for any student looking to break into this emerging field. Because if you are not curious to learn, you will not be on this call today to learn more about AI. So that curiosity is important. But when will you get the confidence? The more you learn, the more you do research. Irrespective of your field, which we talked about mechanical engineering or a transportation industry, many other industry. If you look at it, any industry, you really required all the fields. You need a civil engineering, mechanical engineering, metallurgy industry, electrical engineering, electronics engineering, and of course computer science. And I would say computer science is most easy because everybody is studying computer science, but you should know the depth on any particular industry. If you are a mechanical engineer, you should really focus on what is that importance to you. You focus on that, then you adopt these computer science qualities onto that particular industry. So if you are doing a mechanical engineering and you want to be an automobile engineer, you want to design a car, the more you know about the technology, AI and all, but the core functionality is how the car runs. The AI will not teach you, right? So you should know about those fundamentals, and then you combine with this computer engineering, this will be helping you. And if you don't know where to go, how to go, there are many online channels are there. I think probably many of you may know the Coursera, the ED and all. But if you look at it, Microsoft, right? Even in the Microsoft also has a professional program which is teaching you to become a better AI. Even Google has a program. So you have a basic foundational engineering degree, as you are all engineers. Have a curiosity, have a confidence, and ready to take the hard work. Go on to all these onlines and learn yourself. There is so much self-explanatory is there, right? So even the big universities like MIT, if you go, there is an open course web is there. You just go there and all the information is available free. You can go to Stanford, you can go to Harvard, you can go to some of these IITs. Lot of the information now is available. We are in an age of information world. There is so much of information is available. Only thing is, how do you really want to use it, right? So let me just share a couple of slides where I have gathered some information from you all, which will be helpful. Let me see if I can show that. I'm sure you all know this Go Alpha, right? Which we talked about. And you know the Gary Castro. And you see the behind the deep blue, which won against Gary Castro. And this is all the things which you really want to see when you look at the Netflix. And if you have really seen the Star Wars, it is Jarvis. Is anybody like Jarvis? And I just want to know, again, just as a fun fact, I want to let you know, even AI is there in all our Vedic scriptures, right? If you look at it, when Lord Rama went and won the battle against Ravana, when he was bringing Sita, his brother Bharata said, if you don't come on this particular day, I'm going to suicide, right? I'm going to die. So they don't have any time. Then how did they travel? They had a flying cars. That is nothing but, the Vimanam. And even if you go to Tirupati, the Vimana Venkateshwarlu is there, right? So it's all about the how you are putting yourself into the future of the world, and how you are the evolution of the man from a normal man and with a bot. So you are doing a combination of the man and the bot. And what I talked about is this the 4 C's in education, which is really helpful: the critical thinking, communication, collaboration, and creativity. If you master these 4, and I've also given you the website criticalthinkingchild.com. If you master these 4, doesn't matter which field you are in, you will excel. So again, critical thinking, communication, collaboration, and creativity. And these are some of the core curriculum you need to really know. Math and statistics is very, very fundamental, irrespective of your engineering background. Even though you are in a civil, mechanical, metallurgy and all, you may not be a computer science graduate, but you must know what is all about this math and statistics. Otherwise, you really don't know how you will be surviving in this world. So my friends, I tell you, you all need to focus on the fundamentals. Fundamentals are very, very critical. If you are able to conquer the fundamentals with the curiosity, with the available knowledge, you can conquer the world. So I really think all you young people in the world, especially the young engineers, I wish you all good luck. And finally, I would like to end this with my mentor and ex-president Abdul Kalam's quote: to have courage, you need to think differently. You need to have courage to invent, to travel to unexplored path. Unless and until you go into unexplored path, you don't know what is there. And courage to discover the impossible. Courage to discover the impossible, to conquer the problems and succeed. Thank you, and God bless you all, young engineers, and I wish you all good luck to transform this world to a better world. Because as I said, you, young engineer, is a youth icon. You are the symbol of change for good. Use your knowledge, use your passion, use your charisma to transform this world with your dedication towards this industry. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you very much, sir. Any questions? You please raise your hand, then I will connect with sir. Any questions? You please raise your hand, then I will collect. Any of you?
Yeah, one of the quality you all need to have is don't feel shy. No question is a dumb question. If you have a question, please raise. But with the interest of the time, we can always connect later. We can connect with Uday. If you have any specific questions, you want some information, you want some guidance, please connect with Uday, and Uday will be reaching out to me, and then I can send some information back to you. But it's always good to meet you all. As I said, I'm a very visual person. I want to see all the people faces, and I hope this COVID will be going away, hopefully by end of this 2021. Maybe I will visit in 2022 to your campus, and we can meet some of the folks in person.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank
you. Any
Uday.
questions?
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir, for your excellent presentation. and enlightened our ourselves and our young minds to think about and its AI and its applications and all. So how to go about it? Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
I'll connect with Subhash. Yeah, you unmute and speak.
Hello, sir. Good evening. Sir, I am the Subhash that you were taking as an example to explain the artificial intelligence concept. First of all, thank you, sir, for recognizing me and acknowledging my work. And also, I'm shocked that you have my picture, and I'm ecstatic that you remembered me. So, thank you, sir. That's why I raised my hand.
So Subhash, thank you. It's your hard work and your willingness to take participation in events like Udghosh and showing, I think I still remember that the tower what you made for Amaravati, even though it was 2 years back. I always love this collection of people. So you guys have done a tremendous job. So I think it's always feels happy to know these young minds, to interact with these young minds, because at least one of the self consciousness about me is, I always feel young when I'm with young people, right?
Thank you, sir. And I also envy that life that you were explaining.
Now you have to conquer that. I have given you, today is your wife's birthday. Remember and write it down. July 9, 2041. So I am hoping to see a cake from your drone to my home.
Definitely, definitely. Thank you, sir.
Sure.
Thank you. Anybody is there? You please raise your hands.
You don't need to have a question. If you want to say something about it, feel free to unmute and show your face. I'm always want to see the faces. So please show your face, and maybe anything you want to talk to me next couple of minutes. Otherwise, I'll be logging off in next 2 minutes.
Any questions?
I like somebody, Shushmita Shambhuni. Good to see a great picture. Anyone, even from the faculty or anybody want to speak? We can talk next 1 minute.
Yeah. 1 second, sir. Gopi, you please unmute and speak.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Gopi. I only remember back in my childhood, Gopi means Agent Gopi. So are you the James Bond Agent Gopi?
No, sir. No.
Okay.
Sir, I want to know about chatbot, sir.
Chatbot?
Yes, sir.
So chatbot is go ahead.
Is it really suggesting time, and what work do you have to do at this time?
Yes. So chatbot is a real bot with artificial intelligence built in, but then there is a difference between chatbot and a conversational bot, because it is called conversational AI. Some of the companies, they are saying chatbot, but it is already giving the feeding instructions. If you ask a question and answers, only that will tell. That is not the real conversational AI. So if you ask, for example, if you are using a banking industry, they will say, okay, what is about the deposit? What is the savings account? What is the fixed deposit? All those things it will ask. Suddenly you ask something about, okay, what is the weather? They will say, no, I don't know. So it will not have that intelligence. So that is why I said, weak AI and narrow AI, it will be there. But some of the places you have a conversational AI where they will be talking to you. So depending upon the industry, they will configure with this question and answers, and they will give you. But some of these companies, like, if you come to MapRecruit, if you go, it is completely a conversational AI in the recruiting industry. Any question you ask, anything you give a resume, it will tell you which job is good for you, where are you located, all that information is there. So depending upon the industry, the chatbots are ready, but within the chatbot, what is the algorithm they are using, what kind of intelligence they are using, based on that, it will perform, but it is real.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, my friends, looks like you all are having a fun time on a Friday evening. So Thank you very much again, all the Chalapathi, for giving this opportunity to speak to all these young minds. And we all will be talking to you later. Have a very good evening to all of you and enjoy your weekend. And I also wish all the young minds good luck. Choose your career wisely. There are many opportunities are available. The mantra is how you choose, how you perceive, and how you focus on your goal. And dare to dream high. Don't think that, okay, I'm good with this clerical job, I'm good with this 5,000 salary. Aim high, but not just aiming high, work to achieve that goal. Because a lot of the people will have a good dreams and aim high, but don't work. If you want to achieve your dream, you need to work hard and you need to attend these kind of sessions. And thanks to Uday for, organizing all this wonderful session. Many speakers are coming, Udghosh events are there. So the management of Chalapathi Institute of Technology is working hard. I think the Principal Rangarav Garu and many people are working hard to provide this information. And luckily, with this virtual conferences, people like me around the globe are able to come in, and you are also able to adjust with the timings, and we are able to deliver whatever the experiences we have gone through. And whatever I have said, most of it I'm already using it, and everything is possible. So focus on those things. There are always negative things happen in the world, but focus on positive things, what you can learn. One of the best lessons still, I remember what I got it from my father. Either you should be learning and you should be earning at any point of time in your life span. And learning is such a thing, it's a continuous. If you don't learn, it's almost like you're stopping the breathing. It's not that I know everything. There is something else to be coming today, so tomorrow. So I have to update my knowledge. And everyone has to update your knowledge. So the passion, the perseverance, curiosity is good. And if you want, go, I will send you some information to Uday, we can circulate. There are so many fantastic people are available in this world, and they are happy to work with you. And go ahead and talk to one of the guys, John Kahn, who is my good friend. He just celebrated 40 years in IBM, and I personally call him as a father of Watson. He's probably 65 years old or so, but he's so almost like a childish mentality because he's curious. He's very nerd. He's been available in so many movies. Go to johncon.com. You look at it. But he's so passionate about the technology, and he's so full of technology, and he has more than 150 patents in the world because of his work. So my friends, you will be recognized not by your face, whether you are handsome or beautiful girl. It is by your actions and what you are giving back to the community. So have a curiosity in mind with a service motto, you will succeed in life. So thank you again. Enjoy your rest of the weekend.
Thank you, sir. I thank Swamy Garu. Even though he is in very busy schedule every day, he accepted to give the talk on AI changing the world. With your lecture, we know where we are in lagging, sir. So our students will learn a lot from you. Thank you very much for empowering our students, sir. Definitely they will learn. They will be in the good position in the new emerging world, sir. Recently, we have got one new course, AI and ML, sir. Actually, we have in previous, we have computer science with AI, computer science with data science, computer science with cyber security. Now we got new AICT approved course, AI ML, sir. So with that, your talk, 1.5 hour talk will give more value to that courses also, sir. Thank you very much for enlightening our students and myself especially. I thank very much, sir. I thank all the management and principal, vice principal, and all the participants. Thank you all. We are signing off. Thank you. Thank you very much for joining in the meeting. Thank you all.